Hello. Welcome to the new Faith to Conquer Fear devotional moments with me, Christy Demetrakis. Thanks to those who are going to join live and those of you who will watch this later. And while I'm waiting for folks to join, I want to thank you for liking my page. At this point, I have, I believe, about 1,100 followers for my Faith to Conquer Fear page, and that is at C. Demetrakis Author, for those of you who might be looking for that page on Facebook Live or on Facebook. But feel free to like it. And for those of you who have liked it already, thank you so much, because that means you are appreciating some of the content that I am putting out there. And so I'm glad that you find that valuable. And liking my page also gives you the opportunity to see notifications of when I go live. Now, for those of you who follow me and are part of my personal Facebook page, you know that I rarely do Facebook Live. Rarely. I think I've done it 3 times. and the third time was just a week or so ago. So it's a lot easier to stand in front of a video camera and have it playing and recording and being able to stop and start when you want to. But once you go Facebook Live, that's a whole another game changer, and I have to really think about it. So this is something new for me, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about doing it. My intent is to do these devotionals on a weekly basis. And if you know nothing else about me, what you'll know is, first of all, I reserve the right to do these more frequently if the mood hits me. But what you should also know about me is, if I don't have anything to say, I am not going to do a devotional, because I don't believe in just talking for the sake of talking. People who I work with will tell you, if I have nothing to add in a meeting that is going to add any value or change the direction of the conversation, I don't feel the need to talk. And that's in my personal conversations, that's in business as well. So, that's kind of how I feel about it. And so, my heart and my intent is to do this on a weekly basis. We will see how it goes. Hi, Desiree. Thank you for joining. I see you. Give me a quick hello. I'd appreciate it. So thank you for joining. But again, hey, so before I share this week's devotion, for those of you who may follow me on my personal page, you know my husband and I just purchased a new fur baby. So we already had a dog and have a dog, Sophie. And Sophie is a mixture of American Eskimo and Shih Tzu. And so we have had Sophie for about 11 years or so. And so I got a hankering for another dog. We've never had 2 dogs at one time. And so we've kind of been half-heartedly looking. No, we're not going to get one. Our lives are too busy for 2 dogs. Sophie is perfect for us. She knows our lifestyles, all that good stuff. And we went to Alabama this weekend to spend some time with my mother-in-law. And while we were there, there was Sam. So Sam is about 3.5 months old. He's a Cavachon, and that's a mixture of a Bichon and a Cavalier Spaniel. So they don't shed much, but really, really cute dogs. But anyway, so he came home today, and he and Sophie have not bonded yet, but they've only known each other a couple of hours. And so we will see how it goes. I'm sure they will be fine. Because Sophie is a very smart fur girl, and Sam is apparently a very smart little fur boy. So anywho, that's been our excitement. So we are now home with a new baby, for lack of a better word. Why would you empty nest and then get a new baby? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Try to make me explain it. I can't. But anyway, we're glad to have him because he's very, very cute. So before I share this week's devotion, I want to share my heart for doing these devotionals, and really started with my Art of Conquering Fear devotional that is now on the Bible app. So some of you may know it as YouVersion, or some of you may know it more popularly as the Bible app. And I have a devotional on there now, again, called the Art of Conquering Fear. And that devotional launched May 31st. And I'm so excited because it took me the longest time. There's a partner portal that allows you to look and see how your stats, and basically see how many people have downloaded, how many people are looking at your particular devotional. And so I went on there. I finally got up the nerve to go on there about mid-June. And when I went on and looked in mid-June, there were 587 people who had already downloaded the devotional, which was fantastic because I honestly thought there would be 3. I know. My sister said, you're tripping, right? Like, I know, but still, just to get up the nerve. So I finally got up the nerve one day sitting in front of the TV to check it out. And then I checked just a couple of weeks later, and it was up to 1,287 people who had actually completed the devotional. There were even more who had started it, but who had actually completed it, and I was so excited about that. And at this rate, that would make us, we'd cross to over 10,000 completions by the end of a calendar year. And what I'm hoping is that you all will continue to share that app with others that you know who are also on the Bible app, to help us increase that number and really get the Faith to Conquer Fear message out globally, which is my heart and what God has shared with me that he intends to do. And so howsoever he chooses to do that, that's what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So that is also the reason that I am doing these Bible devotions. So I had a heart for it to do it that way, but I also had a heart for doing these video announcements or video devotions. So that's the written devotion. There's also this video devotion that I'm doing now with this first week with Facebook Live. And I'll have to tell you, I had to overcome some fear to even do this tonight. I'm so excited about doing this, but I had what I thought was some valid reasons for putting it off. It's been on my to-do list for a while. But, it's this whole Facebook Live thing, and oh my gosh, it's much easier just to stop and start till I get it right. But once you go live, everybody's watching. So that, I had that whole thing going on. It doesn't matter if it's valid. I was also, had some concerns about what if nobody wants to hear what I have to say. That's plausible, but that's why there's lots of different people who appeal to all different types of people. No one person has one message that appeals to everybody. So I had to get over that as well, and I got over it. And then, there's the other piece about what if I don't have anything to say. And as I promised you earlier, if I don't have anything to say, I won't go live that week because I don't believe in talking just for the sake of talking. So were those valid reasons? No. It was fear. It was fear. But what I want to stress to you and what I hope you're seeing is that I'm doing it anyway. Even though I was fearful about it, I'm doing it anyway. And, even though I was a little bit afraid, I did talk it with some people, and I got the validation. I was on a Kingdom Builders Academy inner circle call, and I led devotion, about a 20-minute devotional with them a few weeks ago. And right after that call, Tamara Lowe, who created that organization, said, Christy, you really should do more videos for folks because you've got a great voice and, you're kind of cute. I paraphrase. She said something else, but I'm kind of cute. That's what she said. So you should do that. And then I was talking with my spiritual mom about a week ago as well, and I was telling her that I have a heart to really do some video devotionals as well as an online Bible study course. And she said, Christy, I don't understand what the issue is. What is the holdup? I think you're overthinking it. And I said, you're right. I am overthinking it. And the next day I wrote out the devotionals for the next couple of weeks. So here we are in week one. So let's get started. Today we are talking about the mind. And I want to read this quote for you. And I'm going to be looking up and down just to make sure I'm following my notes here. But I want to read for you this quote that I saw on LinkedIn. And the title of this quote is, "It's all in your mind." It says, whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. If you continue to act as you have always acted, you will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in your life or your work, all you have to do is change your mind. What do you think about that quote? Do you believe it? All you have to do is change your mind. That sounds so simple. But why is it so hard? Have you ever decided to do something new, to try something new? This tends to show up in New Year's resolutions. And I don't do those anymore, but I know a lot of people do. And those resolutions tend to be tangible things like, I'm going to lose weight. I want to find a new job. I want to find love this year. I'm going to look for love. I'm going to start eating healthier. There's tons of things that people commit to doing. And we commit to doing it with all great intentions, but it doesn't usually last very long. It doesn't come to fruition. If you go to any gym, you'll notice that the gym memberships go up in January, and by end of February, 1st of March, all the levels have dropped back down to where they were before the new year, because people don't stay committed. We tend to focus on things that are outward signs of change, thinking that will really change the real issue. I don't hear many people making a resolution to change their attitude. Why not? It's easy to change your hair color, the style of clothing you wear, your wardrobe. External images are easily changed. But why don't we actively change our attitude? Because changing the inner things about ourselves is hard. External change is easy, but again, it's often masking what's really going on the inside. Many people struggle with weight loss because we aren't disciplined enough in our mind to change our eating habits and to start exercising or to exercise differently. Many people remain stuck in relationships or bad jobs because in their mind, they either can't do better or feel like they don't deserve better. It's a mindset. Have you ever really considered how powerful the mind is? How powerful your mind is? If you're anything like me, once you set your mind to something, oh my goodness, it is hard to change it. You are not going to stop me once I have set my mind to do something, unless I decide to stop it. Unless I decide to change my mind. Years ago, the United Negro College Fund had this tagline that said, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." And in their advertising, they were trying to get people to donate money to help minority students fund their college education. And their whole premise was there are some wonderful students with great potential to do great things in this world if they could only get a college education. And that tagline came out, oh my gosh, so many years ago. I was in elementary school when that tagline came out. And I believe it to be true. I think it is so powerful. A mind is indeed a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing to waste your energy on negative thoughts. It is a terrible thing to daydream about your goals, your visions, and your dreams. But in the next thought, think about all the reasons why it can't or won't happen for you. My pastor said something a while back, and I keep sharing it because I thought it was so powerful. And what he said was there's a correlation between change and freedom. People who struggle with freedom struggle with change. Negative thinking is a form of bondage. Romans 12:2 in the Bible says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." If you refuse to change your thinking, change your attitude, and change your mind, we will never be able to achieve and embrace and take advantage of all the things that God has promised us and He has planned for us. Change requires a mindset shift. Change a little bit, and freedom will follow. Thank you for watching the Faith to Conquer Fear devotional moments with me, Christy Demetrakis. Join me next week around this time for more topics and discussion to build your faith and conquer your fears. I'll talk to you next week.